I don't even like things that are coffee flavored. It's fair to say I don't just hate coffee, I hate the idea of coffee. First story. It's the last few weeks of school, and I come back to my classroom with my traditional breakfast. Hot chocolate, no sugar added, Triscuits, cracked pepper, and olive oil. I had made a half gallon of this hot chocolate that morning, and I like to sip my chocolate slowly and savor every bit. So this took place over a course of about 10 minutes. So I take a sip. Tastes different than I'm used to, but this is not surprising because the day before I had bought 2 packets of cocoa, and I had noticed it wasn't my usual brand. So a few minutes later, taking a few more sips, I wonder if there could be added coffee, like a mocha flavor or something. So I'm trying to decide if that's the case. A few minutes after that, I take some more sips. Now, I'm convinced that I am tolerating the coffee thing without gagging and spitting it up. I find this very curious. I don't take another sip after that. After I finished my Triscuits, I went back to the teacher's lounge and I dumped the hot chocolate down the sink. I have another more substantive story I want to tell you. School's out and I'm at the Kerrville Folk Festival. It's 2018. The concert that May 31st, on a Thursday, was Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary. I'm down at my camp, hanging out, and I haven't bothered to go up the hill to see the concert because I had seen this concert before. There would be the story of how Peter's daughter discovered Steve Seskin's song and how that song became the center point of an anti-bullying campaign that Peter was involved in. It's a fun story, the song is inspiring, the cause a worthy one. You would all love it. The concert would end with Puff the Magic Dragon. Peter would invite all the kids up onto the stage, let the little ones sing into his microphone, everyone would be singing and swaying. You would love that too. But I had seen this so many times before, I didn't think I needed to see it again. So I finished the conversation I was having and I decided I would pop up to the concert after all. What I saw was not what I was expecting. Peter was saying something new, something current. Peter was sharing a song that he had written with the Parkland school activists in the months after the shooting earlier that year. After that, Peter talked about an idea he had for a webpage where it would allow nonprofits to connect with singer-songwriters with an enthusiasm I had never seen Peter have before. Finally, Peter talked about an organization that had started right after the election in 2016 with the mission to depolarize our country by getting liberals and conservatives to talk to each other about issues that matter to them. In 2021, this organization was called Braver Angels. So in 2021, Braver Angels made the somewhat controversial decision to allow election deniers in their organization because, as they advertise, we all have blind spots and no one is not worth talking to. They actually just had their convention last weekend in Kenosha, Wisconsin with 700 delegates. So the concert moves on to Where Have All the Flowers Gone and the other standards. And I experienced these historic protest songs with a new ear. I felt like for the first time I heard how these songs landed when they were an earnest response to current troubles in our country. I was so impressed that after the Magic Dragon finale, I took the trouble to go talk to Peter Yarrow and basically thank him for being so relevant. The lesson is, don't stop engaging with the thing just because you think you have it all figured out. People are complicated and nuanced. As soon as you decide that you that you have anyone or any group sorted out, you do yourself and them a disservice. Stick around to be surprised. Discover a thing that you did not previously realize. I forgot to mention that this was Peter Yarrow's 80th birthday, and in his defense, a guy has a right to retire. And now you can thank me for being so relevant when I'm finished with my speech. Okay, you'll recall that I had bought 2 packets of the hot cocoa, and then I had most of a half gallon of my chocolate in the refrigerators. Maybe I could gift it to somebody. So I go home, I find the receipt so that I can return the unopened package, and I look at this, and there is absolutely nothing about coffee on it. I look at the ingredients, and it says, may contain pine nuts. So that's what I was tasting. I returned to school the next day, and I have no hesitation consuming the hot chocolate that I had rejected the day before. I have one more tiny story, it won't take too long. So I'm walking through my kitchen. There's a pot on the stove, and it has some kind of dark liquid in it. I don't really know what it is. I go to take a little, I'm trying to taste, trying to figure out what it is, right? A little bitter, oily maybe. The thought goes through my head that this maybe tastes like an oil spill that you might find on your driveway. Then it dawns on me that it's coffee. And that's when I start gagging and spitting and going, oh, I gotta get this awful taste out of my mouth. I really do hate the idea of coffee, Madam Toastmaster.